So welcome everybody, this is the second part to my tutorial about the crafting system in Firefall beta version 0.6 something. So what I want to show you guys right now is how the new molecular printer actually works. You got a fine new user interface in which to the left you have the different trees of the different things that you have to, that you want to craft or process or refine. And for this video I want to try to make a new multi-turned tier 1 for my bastion. So one nice feature is that you can actually look for things, like if I give turret or tur, just right here, everything else is just blended out, but the multi-turret tier 1 and the multi-turret tier 2 for the bastion. One important thing I mentioned in the video before is that you have to actually really pay attention to the constraints, not only on the right part of it, but also, like right now, I hope to change that. When you hover over the item that you want to craft, for example the multi-turret tier 2, you can see that there has the constraints about the cores, the power and the mass, which we discussed before, but also it requires nanoprocessors. And I told you guys about this before in the Battleframe Garage, the first green upgrade for your battle frame. You need that in order to equip different abilities and different servers and all the way to the equipment. It's important that you really look at that, because if you don't have that, if you don't have the nanoprocessors already upgraded on your battle frame, you're not going to be able to equip this turret. Also, the question that's been arising a lot is, why is this turret, the tier 2 items, not as good as the tier 1? Well, that's of course not true, because the most important change that Red 5 has done to the crafting system right now is that you now can build components for each of the items that you want to craft. So for this example, the multi-turret 1, and actually almost all of the tier 1s, I think every tier 1 item requires 2 components, which means that for the basic print, and this is important for you guys to understand, the multi-turret 1 print, the NanoPrint, is just the base of the item. Like when you craft this item, you're gonna have an item that has at least a recharge time or 36 seconds, at least 450 HP, at least 0.9 weapon damage, and well, max 3 turns and duration of 5 minutes. So that's like the base, like you start with that. And what you do with the components is that you add to this to the stats. For example, the turret multi-constructor, it affects the cooldown. So what you want is to add time, well actually what you don't want is to add time, but what you do is you add time to the nanoprint of the multi-turret. So in this case, for example, you don't want to add time, you want to have less time. So let's see if I can find, actually I've already crafted one, but this is the second part that you have to really take good attention to. Right here under the things that it needs, the materials that you need to craft this item, you can see it says cores. So this item, this component, this multi-turret constructor or whatever, wants to have cores in order to work better. So that's what you want to look for it in the materials. And as you can see, this is the list of materials that could be used to produce this component. And you have right now the research, the quality, and the preferred stat value, which I really don't know what the F that is, and the quantity, of course, of the item. So right now, as you can see, I have high tensile metals with a quality of 221, which is pretty high. But at least everything above 200 is pretty good right now. I guess there are going to be a lot more better mats in the coming future, but right now that's good quality. But it's also a material, a metal that can have high mass attributes, and what you want to look for are cores, right? CPU attributes. So let's take a look at the computational metals, and it has a quality of 3, which sounds really weird, right? But that's exactly what you want, because the less quality, the less time you add, and so if you choose that, it's only 0.02 seconds that you add to the NanoPrint. And this is important because it's not always about the higher the quality, the better, but you have to actually look at what you need, and also what the preferred stat of this item is, which in this case it's cores, right? So computational marks were best. I already crafted that item. Let's go back to the multi-turret, and as you see, I already crafted that item, and this one adds 0.01. This is kind of funny because when I crafted it, as you can remember, it actually said that it was gonna add 0.2 seconds to the NanoPrint, but it only added 0.1. So why that is, I don't know. Maybe it got rounded down, I don't know. But this is the component I already crafted, and if you want to craft another component, and this is a nice feature too, you can just click on the red part that's missing and go to create a new component. So we are now at the turret multiformer, and this one also wants to have cores, but you want to add weapon damage, because that's what this component actually affects the damage of the multi-turret. So you want a higher weapon damage, so this time we're looking for really a high quality metal. So the high tensile metals would be the best, which only add about 0.04 weapon damage, but the quality is pretty good. It's 220. And let's manufacture that.
I'll have this turned around for you.
And in the meantime, while that's going on, I can show you guys a couple of other nice features. For example, well, the search feature I already showed you. There's also a really nice way to see if what you're crafting is actually worth the crafting, right? I've already done some things for my Raptor, so if you go here for, let's say the charge rifle, because I already crafted that. And here you go again, you have the constraints, what you need for that, and the stats, the basic stats that that item's gonna have, and you change the components. But what you can do is just take a look at the charge rifle that I already crafted. And this is important, you can only compare, I hope they changed this too, but you can only compare items that you've previously crafted to items that you have crafted, or that you're going to craft. That sounds a little weird. What I mean is, you cannot compare, like the let's say for my engineer, the Bastion, we're just building multi-turret, right? But I cannot compare the multi-turret to anything, because I have the standard multi-turret, the one that already comes with the frame, so I cannot compare that. Only when you have crafted an item, you can compare that to a new item that you're going to craft. So in case of my Raptor, in which I already crafted a charge rifle, I can compare the crafted item to the one that I'm going to create, and as you can see, the one that I'm going to create has less ammo magazine, a shorter ammo magazine, and also makes a lot less DPS, and it also has a lot less quality, and etc. That's because this is, like I said, the basic, and what you can see is that I added to the clip side 0.2, and that I added to the damage 0.12, and so the overall damage, actually the DPS changed, and the quality of the item, because that's what you did, what I did with crafting the charge rifle receiver and the chamber, right? So that's what you want to do. So it's nice that you can compare items. It's too bad you can only compare items that you have crafted, and also only to items that are exactly like the same. Like you cannot compare a tier 1 to a tier 2, so that's really not that good. But I hope to change that. It's a really nice feature. And what else is there to say? Always pay attention to the constraints, of course, of mass, power, etc., because you want to have that. And I think that's it. When the turret multiformer is done, I guess I can show you guys the final process, but it's going to be pretty easy. you just put those two together under Bastion multi-turret 1, and when that item is crafted, it's going to be green, and then I can craft that. And also you can tell how long it's going to take, of course, by watching this yellow thingy here, although it's not really precise. I don't know why that is. It's just kind of it's gonna take about 30 minutes, because I don't know why that is, but the time that's shown is not the time you craft. I guess something is added to it every time. Like, for example, if I want to refine something, let's say something very small, like bio-organic sinter gel, yes. It says 90 seconds, right? So when I manufacture that, and it's 19 of those, it takes 1 minute and 46 seconds. I don't know why it takes that. I don't understand that, how it goes from 19 seconds, because even if you multiply 19 seconds by 19, it's not 1 minute and 46. So, but it's, you know, it does apply for a lot of things. Like, for example, if you wanna do this one, the shifted earth, it takes 20 minutes, and when I manufacture it takes 21 minutes, 22 actually. So that's kind of fun. And oh, I'm being attacked right now. Okay guys, well, that's about it for crafting. I hope that you learned something, and if you have any questions, you can always whisper me in game. It's Silver Devil. You can read the name up there. I'm about to die, so I'm going to log off the video. Take care, and see you next time.
Why don't you head over to the manufacturer?